Hello and welcome everyone to the very next Ask Chris Tuesday. This is number 12. It's interesting to see as the numbers keep going up, higher and higher. So my name is Chris and this is a show where I answer questions in a Q&A type style, where I take questions that you've asked me over the past week since last Tuesday and I answer them all in this show. It's a very simple show, not a whole lot of flashy stuff except for some of the transitions that I do. But other than that, I'm just answering questions. So if you have a question and you just like this talk style format, then please leave me a question in the comment section down below, okay? Now, let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to talk about is about last week. Last Friday, we had the very first tips of the week video, and it was awesome. I just showed you guys really simple the two different ways to sew a sleeve, and I just named them simply method 1 and method 2. I think they have actual names for it, like the unit form sewing versus like the individual or something. I don't know. Anyway, but I made it simple. I just called it 1 and 2. And actually a lot of people chimed in and said thank you for that, and I was surprised at how many people watched it and thought that that was helpful. I thought it was something really simple, but you never know what people like or what people are having problems with, so it's good that I did it. So thank you, Mr. I think it was Andres Pinedo who asked for that video. So anyway, thank you very much for that, and I apologize if that is not the correct name. Anywho, and this week we are having a very simple time-lapse tutorial this week. It's something that would be kind of nice for Christmas because it has a slight festive look. We're going to be doing a short sleeve top or maybe even long sleeve. I mean, you can change it. But we're going to be doing a top with a see-through yoke on it. It's going to be really simple. We're just going to take the yoke out of the top and we're going to make it out of a see-through fabric. And it's just going to be a simple, we're going to use the t-shirt pattern, and we're just going to come right across the bust line, maybe 2 inches up from the bust. And we're just going to draw a strip across the front and the back, make it out of see-through fabric, and that's about it. So it'll be something nice, and I think it'll be festive, something that'll be cute to wear to like the little Christmas parties and get-togethers and other little parties, Thanksgiving parties, depending on what fabric you make it out of, it'll be gorgeous. So anyway, let's see. So let's go ahead and get down to the questions. Okay, this is going to be very simple. Got my 4 questions here. So let's get started, okay? Question number 1. It says, now this question I actually shortened because it came in the style of an email from one of my subscribers. And it says, Chris, have you seen the Madame Gres exhibit in Paris? They have several videos on YouTube about it. I know how much you love couture, and she was one of the greatest. And that's from a guy named Scorpionblue. Thank you, Mr. Scorpionblue, for giving me that feedback there, or asking me that question. I actually hadn't seen it for a while. I had seen your email and I kind of looked at it, I read it, and then I started doing something else and got distracted. So I finally went back and read it last night, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot. And I went on YouTube and I looked at the Madame Gres exhibit videos, and it was really awesome. So for y'all to see it, I put some links, or one link down in the description so you can see that. It was really good. I love detail, and I love slightly abstract looking things, or taking something old and changing it up. Ooh. Mixing up the pieces with new pieces to make it new again. And it was so good. So I want you guys to see the Madame Gres exhibit in Paris. And I think it's an old exhibit. I don't know. I don't think it's currently still there. Because the video that I looked at said 2011. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But anyway, I watched it and it was awesome. So question number 2 is from Andres Pinedo. Pinedo, and it says, I love the Gaga McQueen dress, so I'm in the process of getting a full body mannequin. The only thing is, I don't know if I want to get a size 8 or 10. What size is your mannequin, and what made you pick that size? Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Andres Pinedo, good, I have this nice little small webcam, and I can take it with me so you can see exactly what size my dress form is. So I'm going to be a naughty boy. I'm going to lift her dress over here. So you're going to see here is like a little spy cam. Can you see that? This is model 1968-10. And I don't know if it has the other part on it. Oh yeah, it is a wolf. So this is a wolf. Okay. So you can see that. It's a wolf dress form 1968 and it's a size 10. Now, retail sizes and standard sizes are a little different, and I'll put a link in the description here where you can get a wonderful chart that you can use and go back and forth between the sizes and learn more about how the sizing goes for women and for men and for children and all those other people. They got a lot of charts that you can look at, and yes, it is on Wikipedia. Not everything on Wikipedia is bad, so this is actually pretty accurate. So let's see, Wikipedia charts. That's a little note to myself to remind me to put that on there for y'all. So anyway, that's awesome. But yeah, they changed the sizing a long time ago, and now it's like vanity sizing, because the size 10 is actually like a retail size, like between a 2 and a 4, around there somewhere. Her measurements are about 36, 26, 36. It's really close to, I think it's a little more than that, maybe like less than an actual whole inch. But anyway, so you know that. Now, as far as how I decided to get that range, that dress form actually belongs to my roommate, and the reason why we have that size is because it is close to an industry size, and 36, 26, 36 is very industry size. Now, the only thing I will say, most industry sizes, it ranges from about a 0 to a 4. So that's why you see some girls that are really, really thin and they look emaciated. And then that's why you see some girls who have a little more juice on them, they have a little more boobs, and they have a little more butt on them, like closer to your Victoria's Secret model girls. But a lot of the Victoria's Secret model girls also model in regular runway fashion shows. So, you can go back and forth within all of the different things, but you have to be of the correct size. You have to, and that's why they have the sizing standards for the industry. As long as you're between this size and that size, you should be able to fit in something in that designer's collection. Okay, unless it just doesn't work out like that. So anyway, question number 3. And this is from Mr. Charlie's Angel. Hello, Miss Charlie, Mr. Charlie's Angel. Thank you for leaving another comment. Let's keep me going. So number 3, she says, another great video. Thanks so much. And she's commenting on the last Ask Chris Tuesday. She says, got another question for you. In ready-to-wear and homemade clothing, I always have a bunch of fabric at the back bodice above the waist. I always have, or I saw somewhere that you could take a wedge out of the back bodice, tapering to nothing at the seam line. Okay, but then how do I maintain the grain line in the hem? I'm trying to perfect sewing with patterns so that I can eventually make my own. Thank you for all your help. So what I decided to do with her question was to use it for the next tips of the week video. But basically she's talking about this area here. If I turn this dress form around, this area here is very easy when you're working on creating your own torso pattern to have extra fabric here, and it'll fit up until this point, and all of this will fit, and then right here you'll have a kind of function where you could almost pinch all the fabric together and you'll get this nice like that, but just here. It'll be a nice little section of fabric. And the best that I can tell you without telling the whole video on here is you have to just kind of do some maneuvering. Take some of it out of the top at the neck, just kind of, you know, push some of it out that way, and then some of the rest of it is just gonna have to come out of the pattern making. Whether it's out of the darts, which is one place to take it out, or out of the side seam. And it's kind of, it's a little game that you have to go back and forth with. So anywho, but I'll give some more tips, or the way to do it on the tips of the week video, and I'm gonna try not to make it long, y'all. So now let's see. Now the very last question, question number 4, is from, I think is, I don't want to butcher your name, but it's spelled Y-M-A-N-A Johnson. And it says, Chris, it's interesting seeing someone else sew interfacing, or seeing someone else sew / interface. She was watching a video, my video series on interfacing, where I just talked about interfacing. I actually did some interfacing, and so she says, thanks for taking the time to do it. I found the 5 videos interesting and informative. I'd really like to be able to buy a large bolt of interfacing like you've got. I liked it because it's woven, wide, sheer, fusible, and there's a lot of it. I can't tell you how much of the narrow, non-woven stuff I bought over the years simply because I couldn't find anything else. If you have a source, I'd appreciate the info. Okay, Miss Lady. So I got it from a place in Dallas. It's like a warehouse type place in our design area. It's called C+C Fabrics. Now the only other thing, the big bolt that was like 100 yards, it cost me like $10. Which, you know, it's like, what? But it's because it was a sale clearance app, and there were like a bunch of bolts at the time. But this was, back when I was still going to school. This has to have been like 2 years ago. I don't really use interfacing for a lot of stuff. My roommate doesn't use a lot of interfacing for stuff, and we still have it, and there's still quite a bit of interfacing left on it. But yeah, that will last you for some years, because, you know, different from muslin, you don't use interfacing as much as you use normal fabric, of course, right? You only use a little bit at a time. So, you know, it's gonna last you a while if you do come across some. But I'm pretty sure you can find one somewhere. Just if you have any kind of fabric district, start talking to those people and asking some questions and seeing if you can track some down. And they should be able to give you some leads somewhere, and you should end up finding it. But stay focused, and I'm sure you will find some somewhere. But at that place, they were gone. They're not there anymore, because we go back to the store every now and then, and they're not there anymore. So, but you never know. So anywho, that's it for this edition of Ask Chris Tuesday, and we made it under 13 minutes. So I'm gonna go, please leave a comment down at the bottom if you have a question that you'd like to ask. So I'm answering someone's question, so let me know if you got something that's confusing you, or if you know somebody who is confusing or confused. Just ask them, or ask me a question for them on this page, and we'll answer the question for them, and then you can get back and tell them, or you can have them watch the video. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Come back to see us later.